Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Daily Bone Podcast, Thursday, August 29th. Ready to rock and roll to discuss the SEC's attack on OpenSea. You saw the news, I'm assuming, if you're paying attention to the space, that the SEC sent a Wells notice to OpenSea the day after Donald Trump launched another season of Trump card NFTs. Very, juicy stuff there. NVIDIA's earnings did not go so well. The photograph of Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, signing a woman's shirt is now still the top for NVIDIA. And the latest, of course, with Pavel, the CEO of Telegram. So we're going to get into all of these different factors here. First, I want to see, Nick, how you doing this morning, buddy?
There's the question. I'm doing all right.
Your hair looks good.
Thank you. It's wet because I got out of the shower.
That was a good sneeze. Two of them.
I'm doing all right. Not bad.
Not bad.
Did a
Good
workout.
You did a workout?
I've worked out every day.
Let's fucking go. What was this morning's workout?
You got a lot of questions, and I don't appreciate it. Okay, let's just say I got my fitness taken care of. Okay,
it's like that. It's just literally, it's completely taken care of.
You just have like a lot of questions, and you're inquiring. When you're inquiring about it, I don't like answering because it's very it comes with just deep level of bias and judgment, and I don't have time for that.
What if Signal asked you?
I'll ask you, Nick, then. Okay. So Nick, I'll ask you. You've been doing these morning workouts. I know it's hard at the beginning. Do you feel like napping in the afternoons? Because that's how it goes for the beginners. They want to nap around that 1, 2, 3 o'clock. How's it going?
No, because I have a massive life force energy inside of myself. So I don't actually have to deal with that. I technically don't even need to take caffeine, although I do occasionally like dabbling in caffeine. However, I have been going to bed earlier and waking up earlier as a result of it. Last night, I actually went to bed a little late, around 11:30, and woke up again. I've been getting up at 7. I was getting up at 8:30 or something ridiculous. I'm trying to get up at 6. That's where I'm headed toward. By the end of next week, I would say I'll be getting up.
What's your workout? What are you doing at 7 a.m.?
Right now, it's just cardio. However, I'll be integrating some more weights into this as time progresses. I like to start things off more with consistency than just dive right in with heavy volume. Yesterday was a lighter cardio. I didn't push myself as hard because I was just kind of exhausted.
Cardio are you doing?
Is this single cardio or double cardio? I'm just curious.
Are you doing
time of the morning?
runs? Are you doing rowing, which is a full body style cardio? Are you doing the Peloton, which depending on the trainer can get you a little up and at 'em? I mean, I'm a big myself. You can keep tracking the app. It's a good time.
Well, it's of the cardio variety, I should say. The type where there's motion. That's one of the key things that you want to be doing. Heavy on the leg motion. That's one of the fundamental things that you're looking for.
Are there wheels involved?
There are wheels involved. Okay. Some would call it a bike.
Single or double? Okay. Single or double? You haven't answered that bit. I was just curious.
What do you mean by that?
Because you said you were doing cardio, so I was wondering if it's single, or double.
What does that mean? A European term. I don't know if we talk about double cardio in the United States.
No, I just wonder if he has a partner at 7 a.m. or it's a single or by his lonesome on the bike.
Oh, I'm doing triple cardio because
okay.
We have a nice open relationship here. Well, I wouldn't call it open. Sorry about that. It's not an open relationship. Don't tell them. It's monogamous amongst 3 of us.
It's just the perfect balance. Right. I mean, I love the idea.
Perfect balance. You know what? If I could start my day like you, Nick, I'd be all about it. And I'd have hair that looks like yours. It would be a good day to start.
Thank you. Yeah, it's triple cardio. Me with 2 ladies following behind. They have to position their bikes behind me. That's one of the key. That's just the dynamic of the relationship. Basically, they're not riding next to me. They're riding behind me.
Want them in front of you? Wouldn't you want them in front of you? Why would you want them behind you?
I'm the leader of the pack.
He's leading.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's
Gotcha.
a part of the power dynamic.
I thought he wanted like a visual to keep going, you know?
I'm a wolf.
But there's a wolf at the end of the pack too, and arguably that's the most important one.
Well, and that's why the ladies are in front of me. Okay.
Now we're talking. All right, that's what I love to hear. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive into the weather report in just a second. Quickly, I want to make sure everyone knows that today's show is brought to you in partnership with, you've heard us talk about this platform many times, our very good friends over at Tensor. Tensor, of course, is the leading Solana NFT marketplace for pro traders, for folks that are actually taking trading very seriously. You see us use the platform on the show all the time. It is the only place where I buy Solana NFTs. Wouldn't dream of buying them anywhere else. Why, you ask? Because there is a very slick user interface that's very simple yet robust and very easy to use. Anything that you need, your order book, the activity on a collection, any chart that you need. You saw us whip out the spiral charts and all that stuff yesterday. That's all really easily accessible on Tensor. We know obviously the founding team, Ilya and Richard, have met with them a bunch of times. They essentially built this thing from the ground up, and to watch the way that it's grown at this point, especially this year, has been super cool. You've heard people like Joe McCann talk about it. Tensor's a really, really powerful platform. Check out tensor.trade. Easy. Are you looking at anything in particular on Tensor today?
Yeah, there was a collection that dropped. Of course, Bodogos. It's always Bodogos. We always check the Bodogos chart. A nice little bounce after yesterday's lows. Shout out to people who paper-handed them yesterday. As I'll say, absolute paper hands for selling those lows. There was one yesterday called Wifey Station, an 888 supply, so really low supply. Minted, sold out basically immediately, ran, I want to say, up to a 2.5, almost 3 soul floor. And Wifey Station right there. Yeah. So now it's sitting at 2.3, a little over 2.5 soul. People were very excited for this mint, a lot of hype, especially because of the low supply dynamic that got people excited about it, for sure. These low illiquid supplies tend to have very volatile price action. I don't know why people like them. Travis Bickle, the founder of Fantasy Top, posted like 15 that he owns, which is crazy to see. Said he likes the art. I'm not a huge fan of the art. Doesn't really make much sense to me. But hey, if you can make some money trading it, why not? You also saw at the top of Tensor their marketing partnership with Pathfinders, which is a refundable mint. I've been watching this one a little bit close. It's currently at a 2.19 floor. So it's a 2 soul mint, completely refundable. So if you don't like the NFT, you can actually get your 2 soul back, which is really interesting. The team only earns money from the yield that the Solana makes them. And that's how it unlocks. So they don't actually earn the mint funds. It's a completely refundable NFT on Lilypad, which is a new launch pad for LST NFTs. It'll be really interesting to see like how this one ends up panning out. But I mean, if it gets close to selling out, I'll probably take a flyer on it, buy a couple of them, because your downside risk is just your mint cost. So we're seeing only about 3,000 of these have been minted so far. If they end up cutting supply at like 5K, then there's certainly an opportunity for you to make a flip on this, especially with rarity playing into it. And maybe you can pull a rare. If you pull some floors or some commons, you can always just dump them back for your mint cost. This is very similar to Blast with Blaster, if you were privy to that and familiar with it, which was just a completely refundable NFT. We saw Cyrus drop Gold Farmers on there. We saw Stats, NFT Statistics drop GM Photography on there. So maybe these refundable NFTs are the path forward, but this first one, we're not too sure about. There's some speculation on utility that you'll get whitelist to all future Lilypad mints. We'll see, but this is the one I'm keeping an eye on, very much so. And then, of course, want to see if that Wifey Station gets some legs today and sees an influx of volume.
Very nice. Well, we'll check out Pathfinders, maybe even discuss it on the show today. Obviously, Bodogos is available on Tensor also. Check out tensor.trade, slick URLs for a slick platform. Again, that's tensor.trade. Signal, let's take away the weather report whenever you are ready. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely, EPO. We are 2 days from the end of the month of August, and looking at the crypto roundup, the majors, they've just been chopping. They've just been going sideways. You got Bitcoin at 60,300, Ethereum just shy of 2,500, and Solana in that $146 range. Solana wireless device token Helium, if you remember that one, is the largest mover among the top 100 coins. That is up 7% over the last 24 hours to a 1.2 billion market cap. Over the past 24 hours, we talk about them a little bit, but let's get into it. Firstly, OpenSea received a Wells notice from the the SEC, claiming that NFTs traded on their platform are indeed securities. OpenSea CEO, he came back and he pledged $5 million to help pay for legal fees for any NFT project that receives a Wells notice. Democratic Congressman Wiley Nickel has criticized the move on Twitter, slamming the aggressive use of regulation by enforcement. Secondly, NVIDIA has actually beat earnings estimates yesterday. They beat a 28.7 billion estimate, and they just came in with a right hook, and they had 30 billion in Q2 sales. That is up over 120% year on year. NVIDIA sales, despite beating expectations, actually fell 7% in the aftermarket trading despite the news. And then lastly, Telegram CEO Pavel Durov was released yesterday and is currently in supervised custody. He had to pay a nice $5 million for bail. Additionally, the Telegram blockchain went down for the second time in the last 2 days. That is all for the weather report. It is back to you folks in the studio.
Little buy the rumors, sell the news there with NVIDIA. Despite beating earnings, I don't know what people were expecting. Maybe they're expecting I don't even have a crypto reference.
They're worried about slowing growth and the fact that the current chip is selling well, but the second newest chip has had some production problems. So investors are getting a bit spooked by it, and that's why it sold off.
Probably a good time to buy shares for the long term. Probably plow a few $100 into NVIDIA in my mom's accounts today. Anyway, we got Telegram CEO Pavel getting released into supervised custody. Charges brought against him that pertain to crimes that were committed via the communication on the Telegram app. So BS, if you ask me. But, that's what's kind of going on there. I don't know if anyone has any commentary on this. We don't have to spend a long time on this. We can just kind of move on nearly immediately. Nick, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this, given your background and history with social media coverage. This is kind of in that direction a little bit. Not really. It's a messaging app, but you're a techie guy. What's going on?
I mean, not free Pavel. Free him. That's my thought. I don't like.
You're
there's
a freedom
not,
fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's a lot to say about this. The ton blockchain going down. What's the deal with it going down? I don't understand. Like, why is it happen? Like, is he actively coding this thing?
Easy's memory hold. Oh, Easy's back. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, like what the issue is for it. Like I keep seeing these like outages. We had an hour yesterday. We had 8 hours the day before. And I have not been able to find information as to why. It stops producing blocks, which is like maybe Ray has something. I see Ray just sprinted to the front here.
I'm saying, so Telegram doesn't run the blockchain. It's like basically like they initially, I believe, launched it, but then now it's like community driven. So maybe it could be validators like pulling down like in fear of like regulation potentially with the Telegram news going on. I haven't found like a concrete example, but I just wanted to clear up that like it's not ran by the Telegram team. So like Telegram going like having issues isn't like a direct correlation to them going down. It's not like the Telegram team's like, oh no, our CEO's now been arrested. Let's shut down the blockchain.
No, there's been some very weird things going on with this whole story because he was invited, in fact, to go to Paris by the president. And then after he met the president, he got given French citizenship, even though he didn't fall under any of the criteria to actually get French citizenship. But howdy doody, he did. And then, he gets basically arrested by the country that he fled to. So there's been there's a lot of conspiracy about what is going on here, and then separately everything that Ray has just said about the blockchain. But I think we'll see more developments in this story as time passes, because it is quite weird what has been going on.
Very strange. Very strange. There's a lot of questions here, and I think if there's a group more qualified to figure that out, or the most qualified, I should say, is basically this group right here. We need to get to the bottom of this to figure out what's going on. I mean, I may just fly out to France in order to figure out what the heck is going on and have a little conversation with Macron.
You said that there's a lot of questions, Nick. What do you think's the first one?
The first question is, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, what is taking place? Why is this happening? And how do we stop this? I don't think that there's like been a more clearly nobody with influence has been in touch.
No.
Nobody has any influence, apparently.
No.
So I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Okay, well, now we're talking. Quickly, we got Binance announcing Solana liquid staking token BN Sol. Easy, what's the significance of this thing?
So it's like when you stake with like Soul Blaze, which is my preferred staking. It gives me Blaze rewards. People are speculating that there may be some level of Binance rewards for staking your Solana with Binance, which would be awesome to see. I have no idea what that could actually be, but people are excited for it. It means Binance wants more Solana to either stake themselves to a validator and fees on, or leverage and use as collateral. Who knows exactly what their end goal is with it, but they want stake Sol. And it looks like they're going to be launching their own version of a liquid staking platform. So people right now use a ton of different options for it. I've mentioned I use Soul Blaze just personally. It's been giving me Blaze rewards, which is like their utility token. And so on top of the 7 to 9% you get from a traditional validator, you can usually earn additional fees, rewards, quote, utility for these tokens. What Binance does to try to gain market share, I'm more interested to see, but it shows that Binance has a major interest in the Solana ecosystem. Or maybe it's just a slight at SBF, and maybe they just want to overtake Solana as another VC attempt. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, good to see interest from a major player in Solana. Can't say that I'm surprised. Next quick one, NFTs, or excuse me, the NFL Players Union has sued DraftKings over the Rainmakers NFT fantasy game. I mean, Jesus, it is going to take so long for all this stuff to kind of get sorted out on the NFT side, of the kind of crypto market. Obviously DraftKings Rainmakers was abandoned, and then now there's a lawsuit. I feel like this is a typical pattern. I feel like maybe Top Shot also had some lawsuits.
But did the NBA Players Association sue Top Shot?
No.
That's the thing I'd want to find out. Yeah, because it's like at the same time, then why are they not suing things like Sleeper, which is the fantasy football app? Because there's like dynasty leagues that people are putting money into and funding. Like, sure, like they own the player here, but I don't know. Like, this to me feels like they may not win. They're using their likeness, sure, but then how come every fantasy app is not also getting sued?
What this comes down to is that DraftKings is like abandoning the deal because like there's a licensing deal DraftKings had with the Players Union to like run Rainmakers, but now that they're canceling Rainmakers, they're saying like we're no longer honoring that licensing deal.
So they're not suing it for the NFTs. Yeah, they're not suing it for the NFTs. They're suing it for the back out of the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that makes more sense. Hell yeah, sue the NFL. Straight to jail.
Sue DraftKings.
Whatever. I don't care. Sue one of them. Someone's going to lose. I'm all for it. Sue Zoo. I like that. But don't sue OpenSea. No, we like OpenSea now.
Well, we'll have to see how it shakes out. Speaking of suing people, just going in that general direction, obviously, we talked about the SEC, Gary Gensler, with a Wells notice to OpenSea the day after Donald Trump issued another round of NFTs. Pretty interesting stuff. So, beyond that, Solana-based predictions market bet from Drift Protocol actually flipped Polymarket. So to me, that's actually pretty significant because a lot of people were calling for, a sort of mainstream Solana-based version of a prediction market after Polymarket has received so much hype. And I guess at this point, Polymarket is technically the biggest prediction markets platform in the world, or at least that's what political people are writing in their tweets when they reference the platform. So seeing a Solana-based one flip it is very interesting. Competition's good. Love to see it, and obviously love to see the Solana blockchain and the Solana kind of market be pushed forward here. Back to the SEC and OpenSea. OpenSea received a Wells notice from the SEC claiming that NFTs traded on the platform are securities. OpenSea is pledging $5 million to cover legal fees as covered at the beginning. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's a response to Donald Trump dropping the NFTs. I feel like Elizabeth Warren tapped her buddy Gary Gensler on the shoulder, and then boom, they hit the Wells notice the next day. It is funny how things can happen so fast when there's political influence from someone like, Elizabeth Warren. Our old buddy Spencer believes this is bullish for OpenSea and NFTs. He said it's bullish in the long run. The U.S. always needed at some point to decide in court if NFTs are securities, art and collectibles collectibles industry must rally behind NFTs because the decision will have splash impact. A lot of people were making Nick, what's going on?
Rally the troops, Spencer. Yes. Yes.
Are you amped up right now, Nick?
Oh man, I'm so amped. I am amped. We got to do something about this. This is good that we're going to get clarification, you know, but we need to stand behind the artists, the NFT creators, what's that sound?
That was Spencer's calling in. And there's all static in the background because he's just fighting the good fight in court right now. That was crazy.
That was the front lines. That's the background sound of the front lines. Is what it is.
That was my issue. What that was Donald Trump just tweeted about his DeFi project, which he renamed to World Liberty Fi.
Oh, so it's no longer called Defiant.
No, he just tweeted this video.
This afternoon, laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet. They want to choke you. They want to choke you out of business. We're not going to let that happen.
I love how they're doing a ton of crypto stuff because they know nobody outside of crypto understands it at all and doesn't give a shit at all, but they're just going to make a bunch of money from the crypto people. I actually think it's brilliant. They just figured out, like, I think we can just do whatever we want in crypto as long as it's not blatantly illegal, make a bunch of money, and no one outside of crypto understands at all, and they're just not going to give a shit. So that's kind of
the Trump team must have known that this was coming because they're collectibles. I'm pretty sure you can't even trade them once you buy them. That won't be able to happen until the end of January. So that was probably a move by them to make sure that if this Wells notice somehow was ever enforced, it didn't come back to kick them in the butt, so to speak, and by being able to say their securities. But it right now, this just feels like chess 101. And this is by no means checkmate by the SEC. So let's see what happens. But I feel like this is a nothing burger. It's Gary Gensler just needs to be fired. Therefore, Trump needs to be elected. That is it. Because Kamala Harris seems to want to make him her secretary of a treasury secretary, which will just be going in the wrong way. Nick, can we get a different face from you, please? This is a serious topic that affects all of our bags, especially your 2021 bags.
What's up with Ray's decision to make this isolated thing? He does this on a consistent basis. Ray, there's a lot of questions.
It overwhelms me. I don't like it.
Sometimes I just feel like it's nice to focus on somebody and just give them, the complete spotlight.
I really like it. I really like it, Ray. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, I'm a big fan, but Nick, I understand you don't want too many eyes on you, man. You don't want too much heat. But Nick, looks like you were going to weigh in on what Signal was saying. You're excited about fighting the good fight. I haven't seen you this riled up in quite a long time about anything. I think Spencer really, sparked a fire inside of you regarding this. What are you going to do today to kind of just, take on the SEC?
Well, did you hear the news that Elizabeth Warren was the person who leaked the information that Gary Gensler was potentially going to be part of Kamala Harris's sort of, what's that?
Cabinet.
Essentially. And she was testing to see how Democrats react. Elizabeth Warren's time has passed. Well, I think that also we definitely need term limits on these people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. This is outrageous. We need fresh blood pumping through the system because this is just getting out of control.
We need a blood.
I won't stand for it any longer.
What is this entire, like, what the fuck is going on in the U.S.? What is happening? We got to investigate this, and there's no more qualified group than the people on this panel. We're going to get to the bottom of what's going on in this country.
Can we vote for you?
What's that?
We vote for you now? Is that officially like...
He is a presidential candidate.
I haven't done anything with that campaign. I'm getting emails, literal letters about the Choose Rich Nick for America. This is literally mail from the IRS for Choose Rich Nick for America. The campaign. I'm gonna have to figure out what to
throwing
do.
Wells notices around. Nick's like, yo, how can I get the government to look at me as much as possible?
Wow. I almost forgot that you actually did that and you have a legitimate campaign. What Kick said really stuck with me. He said it was supposed to be Bush, Clinton, Clinton, Bush, Obama, Clinton. If Trump hadn't won the first time against Hillary Clinton, that was what was essentially going to be the game plan for the United States, which is pretty crazy because that's how many years is that? If those are each 4-year terms, that's like 24 years, 28 years. So it's pretty crazy that's how things could have shaken out.
Sorry, you say the game plan for the United States?
That would have been 40 years.
40 years. There you go.
When do you think they when they came up with that master plan?
1967, after they assassinated JFK.
That was a pretty big moment. Pretty big.
Right before the Ronald Reagan attempt. Right around that like small little periodic gap in there.
Look at this person's soul. Look.
This person writes comments that shit on Easy on a regular basis.
Constantly.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Nick,
tweets at me,
hear you, Nick.
fires off stuff. This person's
someone muted me. I don't know who did that. This commenter said, "There's no easing your way into working out. It's either you're about it or not. No excuses. LMAO." You sound like a little bitch.
Oh, Nick, please get this guy off my back, because I'd say every 48 hours he tweets at me just calling me a piece of shit. It's like honestly, it's not the worst comments. He's like, "Hey man, you're a piece of shit. You shill NFTs, dickhead." I'm like, okay. 48 hours later go by and he's like, "Great thread, you piece of shit. I hope you die." I'm like, okay.
There's people like I respect shit talk, but when it's just like when it's something that has no sort of like creativity, I don't respect it at all, basically. And I think that person is a complete loser. The example of this was someone responded to me, I think so I posted the photo of myself being like, "This is the face of NFTs." And what was the guy? The guy said, okay, this thread, he said, "Should be the face of abortion."
Oh my. So I understand but there's 1% creativity because of the structure of the line. That's the only thing. It's a horrendously aggressive comment, right? But it is a little different than "You're a fucking piece of shit. I hope you die," because
it's slightly improved.
1% improved.
But it's not really like that creative. And that's the thing where I'm like, and it's just like a common insult and the thing that's interesting is this guy's like running a business, like writing that thing where I'm just, well, the guy that wrote that, I don't know about this guy, Soul Sniper. He seems like,
no, Soul Sniper's not operating.
He sounds like just a loser in his mom's basement, basically, like this guy, but he may be jacked. Like he's like working out, taking creatine, but asking his mom to go to the store to buy it, basically. Like that's because he can't actually take care of his own life.
He's got backney.
Maybe.
I wanted to say backney.
Okay. But this other guy, the face of abortion commenter, this guy is like running a business, basically, and like has a career.
Big sneeze.
And I'm like, you just decide, like, you thought it was a good idea to post that one tweet. All right. But I just think it's interesting that I'm all about a solid insult.
What do you think of this one? I think that the attempt was there, but I don't.
Do you pay property taxes on that massive nose? It's pretty good. I think it's better. I haven't heard it.
I think it would be better if it like the joke was something about making your massive nose a new state. Like I think that there's like there's lingo that like, you know, kind of country based lingo, because it's like, you know, property. It's like it's just his nose, but implying that it could be a new state in the United States. That's maybe how I would do it, but I'd have to look up the official.
I prefer this version of it than what you're going on right now. I'm going to be honest. I think he did like this was a pretty good. This was like a decent thing. Do you pay property taxes? Yeah, I thought it was good.
Okay, it's short, sweet, right to the point. Decent chirp.
Not bad. I'm assuming that with the Soul Sniper, just to close the book on the Soul Sniper, I'm assuming he bought assets that Easy speculated would potentially go up and then lost money gambling on them. He bought them with the intention of selling them shortly thereafter.
I asked the same question, though. I was like, yeah, so like, what did you buy that I talked about? Like, my bad. His response was, I've never bought anything that your dumbass shared. I said, okay.
Got it.
Yeah, it was.
You should just turn off your video and put like an animation on for Easy. We need to figure out a way to do that.
Because he's memory hold.
I think it's Clemente's alt just like firing back, like feeling like all the hate and just like needing an outlet.
Is this one good? I don't know.
Yeah,
with
that's
a nose like that. It's a good thing air is free. Meaning, because that nose is sucking up so much air, it would be a problem.
Yes, we all got it. I appreciate the explanation. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you never know. Someone might have not fully grasped the joke. I just want to give context.
Well, you're explaining the audience you're explaining it to is clearly dumbasses. I feel like we could, if you got to explain a straightforward joke, that you're like, so when he said hello, what that's known as is a greeting in the English language.
I actually really like that one. That was probably my favorite one. It's actually pretty fucking clever for a nose joke. And I've seen a lot of nose jokes about you since the Choose Rich phenomenon. So who was it that said that? Oh, it was fucking my guy. Oh, no, sorry. One? Miguel had another one. He said, with a nose like that.
Ron Man.
Ron Man. Very nice, Ron Man. Very nice. Very nice.
Which one?
The one that I just explained and you.
That one's not as good as the previous one. I actually think the property tax one is better.
Well,
I don't agree.
Agreed.
Free air is a better chirp.
No, free air is better. Free air is
way better chirp. Way better chirp.
Interesting.
It's a harder joke to make. It's a harder joke to make because it's more about the scarcity of goods. But air does not have scarcity, and thus that joke works. I like it. There's a degree of sophistication to it.
Did you ever see the movie Roxanne?
No.
With Steve, oh my God, who's the famous comedian? Steve Martin. And there's a bunch of nose jokes in that. Let me give you a couple of them.
Okay, go. Yeah.
Excuse me, is that your nose or did a bus park on your face?
I like that one. See, a talented comedy writer from the 70s or 80s wrote that. I like that.
Everybody take cover. She's going to blow. You know, you could de-emphasize your nose if you wore something larger like Wyoming.
Quickly.
Well, here we are, just the three of us.
Real quickly, I want to point out we got a Big Macbeth rocking at Bodago. His comment was, P.O., how do nose work? I don't necessarily understand that, Big Macbeth. But
if you could explain this one to us, I'd really appreciate it. If you could break down the complexities of this attempt.
P.O., how do nose work? I'm not sure, but
here's one. Laugh and the world laughs with you. Sneeze and it's goodbye, Seattle.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That one's pretty good.
Very nice. Very nice.
He's got the whole world in his nose.
I like it. I love it. Look, ladies and gentlemen, a reminder that the show is brought to you in partnership with TENSOR. TENSOR, of course, being the leading Solana NFT marketplace for pro traders. It's the only platform that I use to trade NFTs on Solana, period. TENSOR sticks to Solana to make sure, that they're sticking to what they know. You see Bodagos on Solana. You can see all the activity. Check out the order book. Check out the charts. It's a badass platform built by very, very technical founders and has now with a team of many more than what they started with. We love working with them. We've been working with them all year. We're about to be 9 months into this partnership. Absolutely love Tensor. Check out tensor.trade. Easy. Any additional insight on Pathfinders or any other Bodagos, any other collections that you see? Yeah.
It's all bodoggos all the time. That's the first one. If you don't know bodoggos, you're doing yourself a disservice, plain and simple. But yeah, I mean, keep an eye on Pathfinders. I'm interested to see how the mint shakes out today. Herman's minted last week. That's on a nice little 30% rally here from its lows. Still watching some of these other collections. Clanosaurs has been teasing some things, so I think that that's going to ramp, especially with IRL events. They tend to coincide with some positive price action because of their card mints and some of these other things. So we're actually seeing this steadily grind back up almost 50%, 60% from its lows. So that's nice to see. We'll have to see what the rest of the market kind of looks like here, but there's definitely some action heating up, especially on the lower supply collections and those associated with memes. Wifey Station, that was the one that got people very excited yesterday. I think we'll still see Launch My NFT have some collections that will lead to some positive secondary volume here that I'll be keeping tabs on. And with Tensor, it makes it significantly easier to navigate the markets, that's for sure.
That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Tensor. Tensor.trade is the URL, a slick URL for a slick platform. This is the platform for Solana trading. You heard it here first. Maybe not here first, but you definitely heard it here. Look, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. We will be back tomorrow. The show runs every Monday through Friday, every weekday, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Wow, we ended it at 9:40.
I told you in the private chat that was happening. 9 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, each and every week. We will be back tomorrow. Shout out to everyone listening on audio podcasts, Apple and Spotify podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Also available on YouTube. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps us out. And of course, on Twitter, X Platform Spaces, X Platform Video. We're everywhere. Thanks for listening, everyone. Like I said, we will be back tomorrow.